Yeah.
Right. Welcome everyone to this Q&A session. We're talking about Regenaissance, Let's Grow DAO, creating better futures, and a lot more. We have here Tamara and Guru today, who are co-creators and catalysts of the Regenaissance Camp at the Gathering of Tribes 2024. And Guru was just sharing a little bit more about Let's Grow DAO in our briefing just now. So yeah, Guru, can you please continue your sentence
Yeah.
and tell us a bit more about you and your project and where you give your energy? Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, Let's Grow DAO has been working in the intersection of regeneration and refi the last 6 to 9 months. Our mission is to unite and grow the refi region movement. And as a result of that, we've done a few initiatives which are both offline and online. Online, we've done Twitter Spaces where we do 24/7 live for 2 weeks every 3 months during Gitcoin grants round. But we also support other public goods ecosystems with promotion, media, and those sorts of initiatives. uh, this time, the last week was our first offline event, and we were partnering with Regions Unite to host a few things around like what is Regenaissance. We also got a bunch of investors and startups to get funding and pitch to investors, not just online but also offline investors who were there in person. And yeah, we also did our first Regenaissance party to conclude the region week, and that was a massive success. We are really proud of what we did, and we hope to continue with this momentum into the Regenaissance Camp at Gathering of Tribes. Um, yeah, so what we should I stop there, or like are we gonna share more about our camp?
Yeah, this is a great cue, I think, to share more about your camp. I mean, yeah, I've just sort of dived in a little bit into the power of the network that you guys created through the live sessions, which are absolutely crazy. I can't believe you're doing 2 weeks, 24 session live. But I just want to share it was a super beautiful experience for me to dip in and to feel the energy and the momentum that you guys are creating online.
Mhm.
And the gathering really has this focus and this vision of being a hybrid event, right? Where we recognize the power of online connections and we harness it as much as we can, but we also understand that being in person together and sharing space in our physical bodies is extremely powerful and also very different. And so we're playing a lot with this hybrid creation of communities and culture. And so, yeah, maybe this is a nice segue for you to talk a bit more about, yeah, why you guys felt the call to create a camp and to bring all this community in person, in nature, together in September.
Yeah, yeah, like you said, we understand the power of offline events, and even though we have mainly focused on the online things that we've done so far, the event that we just did over the last week like gave us a real real inspiration and like insight into how and the importance of the of offline events and the connections that we make. So yeah, what we're trying to do with the Regenaissance Camp at the gathering is to bring together more of these people working mostly in the intersection of blockchains and climate change. That's the regenerative finance space that we're talking about. But we also welcome people who are maybe not technically oriented that way, but are always curious to learn more and engage with the community that we are going to bring. Um, yeah, with that said, the main focus for us, the name, I think Regenaissance probably needs to be explained a little bit. It's a combination of two words, regenerative renaissance, and we see this period as a cultural transformation that we are going through. And it's similar to the Renaissance that happened a few centuries ago. There are a lot of common things with the Renaissance and the Regenaissance. It's the explosion of technology and science and like understanding how all of these things fit together with like art and the yeah, there is a big movement and momentum like growing in this direction, and it also calls for a lot of these exponential technologies to be directed or used in the right way for us to get to the future that we want to see in the world. And the period between now and 2030, we feel, is like a critical time during which there will be decisions that are going to be made that are going to influence the future in a very significant way. So yeah, we want to kind of bring people to understand how we can leverage these technologies in the right direction that serves humanity and the planet. Yeah, so that's the exploration. We're already in the Regenaissance. We want to know how to accelerate the Regenaissance. How do we get more tribes to understand the importance of technology and the tools that we have at our disposal? Yeah, to steer the future in a direction that we want to.
Mm. Thank you so much. Yeah, I was about to say actually, but you brought it up yourself. For me, one thing as a non-technical expert for refi in general, the one thing that I see as such an interesting challenge for the next, yeah, 2030 is coming up fast, right? For the next 6 years, is this question of how do we democratize those tools, right? They're here, everyone kind of knows about them, and still they're niche, and they're not necessarily in the hands of all those projects that would need them, or that
Yeah,
could, you know, bring them to their full potential. And that's one thing that's super interesting and valuable for me in your presence in the gathering, is that the gathering is this really wide and diverse mosaic of regenerative initiatives and businesses and projects, including a lot of land-based projects, for example, or bioregional initiatives, and so on and so forth. And to have your presence there with your knowledge of those technologies and your understanding of how to actually apply them with those projects that don't necessarily have the knowledge but that have the needs for those can create something super interesting, I think, and mostly really powerful. So I'm super, yeah, particularly looking forward to this one. I know you shared already that your community is at the intersection of those blockchain technologies and climate advocacy. Can you share a bit more about two things? One, who is already in your camp? Who are the
hmm
amazing people that I know of already, but the people who are watching don't necessarily, they're a part of co-creating this space, and
hmm
who do you want to extend the invitation towards? Of course, there's your existing community, but maybe someone watches this and feels the call, right, or resonates. So, yeah, who do you want to have, and what kind of activities do you feel like you want to bring forward in the space?
Yeah, to start with, I think Tamara, who's also in this call, was the first person to sign up officially as a member who's joining our tribe. And we also have some of the core members of Let's Grow DAO. If I may, like, I can throw some names around: Jimmy and Jerry, and we still don't know how many are going to actually be there from the core team. But yeah, Jimmy is definitely gonna be there, and Tamara is gonna be there, and broadly more like there are many communities that are like we work with usually in the refi space. Some people like folks like Regions Unite. There's many overlaps between their communities and our communities. So I believe they're also having a camp of their own with the other organizers, maybe. But yeah, mainly our focus would be folks who are working in the intersection of blockchains and climate change. We have a community of 1,000, not 1,000, yeah, maybe like 500 people so far, combining like the both online and the offline communities. um and yeah, what we can expect is yeah, it's a co-created one, just like all the other camps out there, but maybe a little bit of our focus will be on educating the other communities about what they can expect and the different powerful technologies that are at our disposal if we want to build a more decentralized societies with people interested in things like network states, for example. How do we improve governance between, the systems, with the systems that we build? So these are some of the questions that we are tackling with. If you want to start a bioregional currency, for example, we want to bring in folks who are well versed and like actually doing these things on the ground and experimenting on a bunch of these latest and greatest technologies. Even with AI, how do we understand all the benefits that nature is providing us, for example? So yeah, it's mainly people working on this cutting edge technologies to leverage those for our purposes, which is regeneration, and how do we build new systems to help transform the world to a regenerative one.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. That's pretty clear. So, network states, pop-up cities, technology to the service of regeneration, AI, all of those topics. Tamara, I've spotted you because I think it would be super nice to hear from you actually about uh, yeah, why you felt the call to that camp, maybe how you want to be a part of it. I know you were one of those people that really had the full overview over all the camps, and you went right there. So, can you tell us a bit more, maybe, about that?
Sure. Thank you, Audrey. I actually have been in contact with Let's Grow DAO on and off for around 2 years.
Mm,
And I love the energy that is created in that community, the willingness to support each other, to grow together. And so, and actually, Jimmy was the one that, brought me to understand the Gathering of Tribes was even happening. Um,
thing.
and I fell in love, right that moment. I'm like, oh, I gotta be there, and you see, he's gotta be there, and so I got in touch with Jimmy, and we decided to, unite forces and co-create, and yeah, so that's how it happened.
Beautiful, thank you. And can you tell us a bit more maybe about yeah, where do you see the connection with UC and how you want to contribute to the camp? I know you have already a lot of ideas around the more media side of things, but really this weaving space of connecting all the camps together and so on. I don't know if you, yeah, can say a few
Right.
words maybe about that.
So yes, thank you. Um, I'm while I'm at home at Regenaissance in within the Gathering of Tribes, I'll also be exploring other camps to sort of see how we can share what we're all building and connect and co-create. And specifically, what I'm bringing to the camp is really a workshop to a workshop to open people's minds to a new perspective in terms of how are we designing our future, what does that mean, and what are the easiest steps we can take so that we don't have to struggle to achieve transformation. Like that's my goal.
Yeah.
And it really goes along with the lightness that I perceive from Regenaissance while we're looking at really huge challenges. There is a lightness in doing all that, and I really see reflected in that. So that's that connection, I would say. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. I see Guru is raising his hand. And by the way, for everyone watching, I'll put all the links to all those projects that we're mentioning in the description or in the comment section. Guru.
Yeah, I just wanted to add to Tamara's point, what we're essentially trying to do with this camp is bridge the gap that exists with, all the other camps in terms of sharing what our camp really knows well with, with the other camps. I feel there's a big gap in terms of adoption of technology and maybe some sense of aversion to it to an extent, and we want to kind of show that yeah, we can do a lot of amazing things with it and like actually bring people closer with it. So yeah, looking forward to do that.
Beautiful. Yeah, thank you for adding that in, Guru. Um, okay, is there anything else you want to add, Guru, to this? Otherwise, I just want to give a 2-minute quick summary of what is the gathering. Maybe I could have started with that and then open for questions from people.
um yeah, I think I pretty much said what needs to be said. Probably, yeah, it's just amazing to it's going to be really cool to meet people in person and like have all the things in place, for us to serve other communities and tribes with like whatever support they need. And yeah, hoping to set that up in the most fun way as possible.
Serious fun is my approach to the gathering also. I really like it. Amazing. Thank you so much. Yeah, also super excited about your camp and really curious to see what comes alive. So for Maxime and Laetitia and Alexander, the quick summary, the gathering is a 5-day event that will take place in September 11 to 15 in North Portugal. The gathering really I see as a network of networks that meets in person once every 2 years. So the very first edition was in 2022. We're meeting now. The next one will be 26. And those in-person events are a pretty big deal for us. They're really this one moment every 24 months where we are together in the body, where we create this massive momentum, this big sort of explosion of inspiration, co-creation, partnership development, and the overall vision really is to co-create a culture based on collaboration. So everything we do is just for this. If we can collaborate more, we will already be a little, step further in, yeah, in creating the Regenaissance or the New Earth or however you want to call it. There's so many words for it, and for me, they all converge into. We all see that there is something a little bit better that can be created out of our existence on this beautiful blue planet. So we're really, again, creating all of this or co-creating all of this behind the concept of active hope. It's something that keeps coming back to me. It's like we're in the action, but also really in the hope and the dreaming and the creating something that we don't know exists, but that we know can be created. So yeah, that's the context. And then, as you probably understood from Guru and Tamara's sharing, we're deeply inspired by unconferences and distributed organizations and systems. So the gathering doesn't have really a central organization. It's camps that will have literal spaces on the land, on this beautiful piece of nature. And everyone brings what they have to bring, right? Their needs, their gifts, their offerings, just their being. And then we make a big, beautiful, powerful soup out of that. So we don't know what will happen. We don't know what the program will be. We don't even know who will be there yet, but we know we have a fantastic mosaic of such a wide diversity of projects, all connecting with the concept of regeneration, but coming at it from so many different perspectives, whether arts, sciences, technology, research, education, land-based projects, ecosystem restoration, spirituality, politics, so on and so forth. I'm forgetting many. Yeah, that's it. Any questions? We have 8 minutes left on the call.
No question, but I have a comment because for us is very interesting what you do, and now we working a lot to um, make some conversation of our villages to regenerative villages, and we push our project in Gitcoin grants and gives platform, and it is land-based project, and we study about DAO. Maybe we make something, and it's my point now. Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, and that's exactly it. It's like we really envision the gathering to be the space where you have all those tools at your disposal. You know, you can walk 100 meters on the land and you will be in the new governance systems camp, and you will have an absolute DAO geek that will be able to unpack for you all the governance tools that they've been exploring in depth for the past 10 years. And you walk on over 50 meters and you meet Guru, who will be able to unpack to you all the blockchain technologies or new financial systems concepts that we've developed, and so on and so forth, right? And so within 5 days, you have this basically crazy, beautiful world that you can really pick and choose from to bring into your own project and your own initiative. So, yeah, super interesting. I would love to hear more, Maxime, about what you guys are working on. Hello, Raman. You're coming in at the end, just so you know, we have about 5 minutes remaining in the call. But happy to have a catch up with you later also. But yeah, we were opening for questions, Roman. So if you have any questions, feel free to jump in about the gathering in general. Laetitia, Alexander, any other inquiries?
While hearing to Guru and Tamara, I felt connected and present. And at the same time, I could feel voices of resistance and lack of trust. And I myself feel I've been stuck because of hearing them. And I really resonate to what Tamara was saying about, I don't know, like transformation without challenge or something like that. And I wonder this part that it's more it's of a nervous system that it's experiencing some kind of change. How do you imagine to involve this in this specific camp? But I guess in general also, and I guess that's part of the weaving between camps, but it's something that is felt from my side already.
I just want to jump in to talk quickly about how we do our best to take this into account at the gathering. I really resonate with the concept of moving at the speed of trust, first of all. Um, and secondly, in terms of the gathering in itself, for me, a lot of this question of building trust is not answered by us as a core organizing team or by any specific process. It's answered by nature, the fact that the gathering is in nature, and in terms of slowing down and calming the nervous system, or all our nervous systems that are completely hyperactive today. That does a lot and more than we can think. But also, and more importantly, even for me, there is this idea of integrative approach, which means the fact that we're in person doesn't just mean that we can go from one workshop to another and meet people in 3 dimensions. It means that we share food together, and we go for a swim in a lake together, and we dance on the dance floor in the evenings, and we share coffee with one another in the morning. And to me, the fact that we have this as a base and as a foundation for our human relationships, and that from there we then move on to partnerships and project development together and so on and so forth, is a huge part in, again, in this moving at the speed of trust and in like seeing one another as human beings and then moving from there, right? Like I've never met Guru in person, but we've had I don't know how many hours of calls online, so it's kind of as if. And this is the relationship that we've established with, like, in between camp leaders, but also between us and all the camp leaders over months, right? For the past 6, 7 months. And if this is the base of the gathering, then things radically change. Guru?
Yeah, I just wanted to add that I completely resonate with, the feeling that we need to have trust as the base layer. And one of the things that I'm actually planning to do is dedicate the whole first day to, build that trust between the camp members that are coming there. We did that at the previous festival that I was a part of, called the Green Pill Festival in India. And I saw how powerful it was to, ground everyone and like bring them to the same frequency on the first day. We had like nothing technical, nothing serious planned for the first day. It was all to know each other at at a heart to heart level. And that, yeah, I think that's going to help build the foundation for what's going to come in the next few days. So yeah, and also I think we will probably have some schedule, some sort of a rough schedule. You will yeah, as we get more people confirmed on the workshops that they want to create, we will share that as we move towards yeah, closer towards the dates.
Thank you, Guru. We're at the end of the time. So just want to say thank you, everyone. We can continue after the end of the. Actually, no, sorry, the meeting will end. Thank you, everyone. Feel free to get in touch with me, and I'm super happy to have a follow-up call with either one of you. Guru, super grateful for your time. Thank you so much. Tamara also, and everyone else for joining. And yeah, join our Telegram group, follow us on all channels, and let's continue the conversation. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for doing this, Audrey. And yeah, feel free to get in touch with me if you want to know more about the Regenaissance Camp. Happy to, explain more to you. And also, if you want to be a part of